Hello there. This is the Chapter 3 test. Number 1, we're going to give the coordinates for points A, B, C, and D. Here's A, B, C, and D. Remember, your coordinates are X and then Y. Alright, so make sure you put X and Y. Alright, should be fairly simple. List all the coordinates for these 4 points. In number 2, also, just to remind you, as you listen to the video, pause it after we do a question. That way you get time to do your work and write your answers down, and then hit play again once you're ready for the next question. So going on to number 2, we want you to plot these points on the grid to the right. So again, over here on this grid, you're going to plot points F, P, and Q. Again, remember, this is the X, that's the Y coordinate, okay? So there's 1 and 2. Number 3 says graph this equation. You must find at least 4 points. Alright, so first, we need to put this in y equals mx plus b format. Okay, y equals mx plus b. Okay, so if I'm going to start this problem, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, I would subtract 10x to both sides, leaving you with a negative 5y equals negative 10x minus 5. And from there, I think you know what you need to do with this negative 5, but remember, take care of him to everybody on the other side. Once you have that, identify the B and the M, and you want to graph it on the coordinate plane. Remember, the B is your starting point. It's your y-intercept. It's going to be a point on here, and then you go from there. Let's just pretend it's right here. These are counting by 2s. So 2, 4, 6, 8. All right, if you need 1, 3, 5, it's in between. Okay, if you need help, let me know. Okay, moving on to number 4. You're going to graph these 2 equations. Remember, this is crossing the x at 10. This is crossing the y at negative 15. So remember, this would be a vox, vertical over the x-axis. This would be a hoy. Okay, so it's telling you what axis they cross and at what point. Now remember, these, every mark, they're counting by 5. So 5, 10, 15. Negative 5, negative 10, negative 15. Moving on to number 5. It says multiple choice. Show your work and circle the answer. So they want to know which ordered pair is a solution, meaning when you plug in x, the 5 for x, the y for 7, or the 3 for x and the 3 for y, which one gets you 18 on the left side? You want 18 equals 18. Okay, remember, you're plugging that in for x, that for y, and then try it with this one. Okay, so it's A or B. Number 6, we'll just do 6, we don't need to do 7. We'll cross that off. You want to find the x and y intercepts. So remember, as we practiced, make 2 problems. So just pretend that if you want to find the x, that the y is not there, okay? And on the other side, pretend the x isn't there, and just the y. but you're going to want to finish these out. Okay? And then remember, your answers need to be in a coordinate grid, or a coordinate pair, ordered pair. So I already got it started there for you. Okay, we're going to do number 8. We're not going to do number 9. We'll skip that. So just number 8. Identify. So we just got to label ordered pair. What's the x and the y intercept? So where does it cross? Right here it's crossing the x axis. Here it is crossing the y axis. So write down the coordinates. What's the x, y coordinates for each one? Okay, we're going to skip, we're going to skip number 11. All right, but we'll do 10 and 12. You got to find the slope. Remember, it's rise over run. So all you need to do, when they give you a picture like this, is you simply need to count, or excuse me, that's not right. Back it up. How many do we go up and over to get to the other point? Remember, if the line's going uphill, should be a positive slope. If it's going downhill, it'll be a negative. Okay, so that's what you got to do for both 10 and 12. We're going to do 13 and 15. We're going to skip 14. You want to use this formula to find the slope. And remember, there's x1, y1, x2, y2, just like we practiced in class. Let me just plug them in. Be very careful. Remember, that's a minus. So if you have a negative number, you're just going to have minus a negative. Use your calculator to help you out. Okay, we're going to do 16, 17. We'll skip 18. You want to get these in y-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. And they want you to identify the m, which is the slope, and the b, which is the y-intercept. They just want you to name them. So put m equals and b equals. First thing you got to do is this equation in slope-intercept form? If it is, then just write down the answer. This one is not. So you're going to have to move this 9x over first, get him over there, and then he'll be in slope-intercept form. Okay, and we're going to do number 19, but not 20. They want you, again, identify the m and the b, or I like to always get the b first and then the m, and then graph the equation on this line, or graph a line on the equation right there. And 21, there's a bonus down here, so I recommend you give it a shot. Alright, if you have questions while you're doing this, don't hesitate to ask. Have a great rest of the day.